Welcome to Preview Your Documents with a Table of Contents. Today, you'll learn how to create a table of contents. So if you think generating a table of contents requires inserting all of those little periods between the title and the page number, think again. The table of contents can be generated automatically from your documents in Word. In this lesson, we'll help you understand the feature, and you'll learn how to set up your documents so these complex tables are just 2 clicks away. We'll cover features which are available for Microsoft Word for Windows or Mac.
Welcome to Preview Your Document Content with a Table of Contents. Today we'll cover Table of Contents and Styles. I'm Ivy Gray from WordRake, and I'm here with Baron Henley of Affinity Consulting. Ready, Baron? Take it away.
Hello. This segment is going to be about tables of contents. So first of all, a couple of things to say about tables of contents. If you type a table of contents manually, you are doing it wrong, as bluntly as I can state it. All that means is you took 4 times longer than was necessary to create the table of contents, and it's going to be really hard for you to make sure that all the page number references are correct. Of course, Word has a feature that will do this for you. And the backstory is, back in the day, early versions of Word, you could select and tag the headings that you wanted to pull into your table of contents, and then generate a table of contents based upon your marked entries. The problem with that was that it did not pull in the automatic paragraph numbers, so you had to type those. And if the document was edited and those became inaccurate, you would have to manually update all the tags. Secondly, when people were editing the document, it was really easy to forget to tag a paragraph that should have been pulled into the table of contents. So you'd look at a table of contents and it'd say, 3.1, 3.2, 3.6, 3.7. You're like, wait, what happened to these paragraphs? They're in the document, but they're not getting pulled in the table of contents. And that was because they didn't get tagged. Then Microsoft, because that was problematic, Microsoft decided, well, we can build tables of contents based upon the styles in the document. And so I did a previous segment on styles, so you should watch that first. So this will make more sense because we don't have time inside this table of contents presentation to give you a full breakdown on styles. It's a complicated subject. So you could pull in the whole, anything to which a style was applied, like heading 1, heading 2, you could pull it into a table of contents. When you build the table of contents, you can tell it which styles you want to pull in. The problem that was created was when you had something like this. Like this whole paragraph is set up with heading 2. But if I pull in heading 2 into my table of contents, then the entire paragraph will be included in the table of contents. And I don't want that. I only want the title. So the way most people did this in earlier versions of Word, they would create a separate style. They would format the rest of the paragraph with a separate style, in this case, body text. And then I would go here and I would hit a speed key, which inserted a thing called a style separator. Okay, and it's basically a hidden hard return. Now, the style separator, they removed all the buttons that would allow you to insert one of those in Word. The speed key was Alt-Control-Enter. However, if you've got a modern version of Word, that doesn't even work anymore because that has been reassigned to read the document out loud to me, which I found out when I... So there you go. Alt-Control-Enter no longer inserts a style separator. Instead, it reads the document to you. So that was kind of a surprise. But in any event, the style separator, in my professional opinion, was the buggiest, worst feature Word ever introduced. Total nightmare. So I would encourage you to, if you're using style separators now for these kind of run-on headings, I would abandon that and never use it again because there's a way easier way to do that. And so what I did here is I created what's called a linked style. When you create a new style, one of the types of styles you can create, as you can see right there, a linked style. The nature of a linked style as compared to a paragraph style is that it will stick to whatever you selected. So if I select the word formation and I apply a paragraph style like heading 1, here's Word saying, I don't care what you select. I'm going to do the whole thing. So, right, it didn't just stick to the word formation. It applied to the whole paragraph, even though I selected the word formation. So what I did was I made a linked style called heading to title. And if I click on that, as you can see, it sticks to exactly what I selected. So there's an ancillary benefit of, oh, I wanted all the titles to be bold and underlined anyway, and this style does that. And then further, if I wanted to change that, since the nature of a style is once it's applied to text, if you want to change how the text looks, don't touch the text, change the style. So if I went over to heading to title and right-clicked and modified that and turned off underline and clicked OK, as you can see, all of those titles lost their underline. So it gives me the flexibility of changing my mind quickly, easily, and updating the whole document at once. So today, here's how you create a TOC. You identify which styles you want to pull into the table of contents. This is actually, as a Word instructor, this is frustrating for me because I get asked all the time, can you show me how to do a table of contents? Yeah, but I got to go over styles first. And sometimes they'll say, well, I don't want to learn styles. I just want to know, can you just tell me how to do a table of contents? And the answer is no, you can't get there from here unless we cover styles because they're derived from styles. So this document is set up correctly. And by that, I mean styles were used proactively to control the formatting. And each type of unique formatting has its own style. So all the articles are heading 1. All the level 2s are heading 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. But I created that special style I told you about for the titles of heading 2, called heading 2 title. Level 3 of this document doesn't have titles. So here's level 3 of the outline, no titles. Level 4, no titles. So I want a table of contents comprised of any text to which heading 1 and heading 2 title are applied. Armed with that information, I can build a table of contents. So I go up to where I want to insert my table of contents. I just left a blank space up here. And I click on the references ribbon and I click on the table of contents button. Okay, here's another rule of Word. For God's sake, don't select any of these. Don't pick a sample. Those are generally a nightmare. You're much better off to do a custom table of contents. Depending on the version of Word you have, that might say insert table of contents. But don't pick one of these. Go down here. Okay, and so here's what Word's going to do when I click. It's going to try to guess which styles I want to pull into the table of contents. And here's how many times it's guessed right in my entire life. Never. It's never guessed right. But that's okay, because you can tell it which styles you want, even though it's going to guess wrong. So I click Custom Table of Contents, and it says, oh, hello, Baron. I think you would like heading 1, heading 2, subtitle, and heading 3. Okay? No, that's not what I want at all. So I click the Options button down here. Click on Options, and you're presented with a little dialog that will show you all of the styles used in the document or present in the document. And all you do is scroll down and you put numbers adjacent to the ones you want to include, the numbers corresponding to the level of the hierarchy of the TOC you want them pulled in as. So I want heading 1, that's my articles. Yes, I want that at level 1, that's already correct. I don't want heading 2 because that's the entire paragraph of level 2. So I just simply delete that too. I do want heading 2 title to be included as level 2. So I added 2 adjacent to that. Heading 3 didn't have titles, don't want that, so I just delete it. And then I keep scrolling down the list, scroll, 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 scroll. And I see, now why did it get subtitle? That's not even used in a document. I don't know. Sometimes the word appears to be possessed. I'm going to take that and delete it. Now I click OK, and it says, okay. So you want heading 1 and heading 2 title? And I go, yeah. So I click OK. Now, when I click OK, I get a table of contents. Now, this is a field, which is why it's gray. Now, I have a setting turned on in my Word where all fields are always gray. I'll just turn it off real quick so you can see how it would look on yours very likely. So by default, the fields don't turn gray unless you click on them. So right now it's just black and white. Of course, it prints black and white, regardless of whether or not your field is gray. But if I click on it, it'll turn gray. All right. So, and just to give you a little more information about this, this entire table of contents is comprised of a single field. If you want to toggle your field codes in Word, it's Alt, not ATL, but Alt plus F9. So if I hit Alt F9, watch what happens. Alt F9. This one little field is what built that entire table of contents. Okay, so Alt F9 toggles that back off again, and I can see the table of contents. All right, so that's the first thing. So what's so great about this? Well, if I went down here and I added a new paragraph, this would be my fake heading, and then blah, 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 blah. Okay, now all I got to do is apply the formatting I was going to apply anyway. Heading to title. Now, does that automatically show up in my table of contents? No, you have to update your fields. So the only fields in Word that automatically update are paragraph numbers and page numbers. Every other field, including tables of contents, tables of authority, cross-references, file and path name, etc., you got to update. How do you update fields? Select the whole document. Easiest way to do that is Control-A, then tap the F9 key on your keyboard. So watch right here. I hit Control-A, that selects the whole document. I tap F9, and it gives me a choice. Do you just want to update the page numbers, or do you want to update the whole table? And of course, I want to do the whole table. When I click this and I click OK, watch right here. Fake heading is now in my TOC. If I go down and I delete the fake heading, and I go back up and I hit Control-A, F9 again, now fake heading is out of my table of contents. So once you insert it, you can edit, do whatever you need to do. You just have to remember Control-A, F9 to finalize it. And then your table of contents, all the titles, all the page numbers will all be correct. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is, you will notice that when you insert a table of contents, some new styles show up in your list. And guess what they do? They control the formatting of each level of the TOC. So you got to wrap your head around this weird idea. I pulled out a table of contents based upon two styles, heading 1 and heading 2 title. Do those have anything to do with how the formatting shows up in your table of contents? Weirdly, ironically, no. A separate set of styles controls that, which gives me the flexibility of causing the TOC to look different than the rest of the document should I want to do that. And in this case, I definitely want to do that because the articles are centered. And I don't want those centered in my TOC. And you'll notice they are not centered. But here's what people do. They'll say, well, I don't like how this looks, so I want to change it. So let's say I want extra space in between the articles. So they'll go here and they'll hit enter. Then they'll go here and they'll hit enter. And they'll go here and they'll hit enter. And so why did I show you that this whole thing is built from a single field? I did that for a reason. And that was just to illustrate or underscore the fact that this is a derived thing. And you can't manually format a field and expect that that's going to stick when you update your fields. So I put in, so does this look the way I want? Yes. Okay. So then I make some changes and I'm ready to finalize it. And so I select it and I tap F9 and I say update the thing, and look what happens. It goes right back to what it was before. Why does it do that? Why did it undo my work? Because I did not change the style. If I want to add extra space above each one of these articles, then I need to right-click and modify TOC1. What kind of formatting do I want to mess with here? Format paragraph, right? So spacing before paragraphs. If I give that 2 up arrows for a 12 point, that'll be 1/6 of an inch above each one of these titles. I click OK, OK. I get the desired formatting, but it's permanent. If I hit Control-A, F9, and I update, hang on, I missed, F9, and I update the entire table, it will not remove my blank lines. Okay? So, if you want to change how the table looks once it's built, you got to go tweak the styles. Let's say I wanted these numbers moved over a little bit. Right now, they're at a 1/4 inch left indent. So if I right-click TOC2 and I modify that and I go format paragraph and I change this to 0.4 and I click OK, watch this whole column of numbers move when I do that. See how they moved over there? I could do the same thing. I go format tabs, and I could change the tabs. So instead of a 0.75 inch tab, maybe I want a 1 inch tab. I could delete that one and create a new one, and then move the text after the paragraph numbers over to the 1 inch mark instead of the 0.75. The point is, it's all about the styles. If I wanted to make this bigger, then I could say right click, modify, make it a 14 point and click OK. And now you can see they all got their larger 14 point instead of 12 point. So the trick is your styles have to be set up correctly. If the styles are set up correctly, tables of contents are easy, and they are easy to update. And you can edit your document whenever you want, and all you got to do is hit Control F9, and everything's going to be accurate again. By the way, the way it does these dots out to the page number is by using, if you watched our segment on tabs, then you would have learned about tab leaders. And a tab leader is what fills the space between the text and the tab stop. And they're using dot leaders to pull this off, which is why the dots look, if you zoomed in on this, it's a perfect grid of dots. They're literally above and below each other. It looks great when you print it. You can never do that look with periods. It'll look terrible no matter what you do, but this will look perfect always. So it's set up to do what you need it to do. If you don't like the formatting, you got to remember, go visit your TOC styles and you'll be good to go. Sometimes I have what I call segregated headings. So let me give you an example of that. In this document, so this is heading 2, and this is a different style. So all of the titles, the document I just showed you has what's called run-on headings, meaning the title is immediately followed by the rest of the paragraph. And that's the reason I had to use a special linked style, so I could format and tag just the titles to pull into my TOC. If you have a document that's set up like this, it's much easier. You don't need any extra styles created, because I do want the entirety of all the heading 2s. And if you click on my styles, you can see heading 2 is their standalone titles. There's not a single place in this entire document where they run together. So as a result, I can just go up here and say, references, table of contents, custom. In this case, it thought I just wanted heading 1. Who knows why? I click on options. I scroll down to heading 2. I put a 2 in there. Okay. And I get a table of contents. And that was a little easier because of the segregated headings. Okay. That's all I have for tables of contents. I hope that makes sense. And again, it really comes down to, is the document you started with set up right? If it is, lots of things are easy, including tables of contents. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. That was an informative lesson.
This video was created by Ivy Gray from Wordrake and Baron Henley from Affinity Consulting, who both trained as lawyers and are now Microsoft Word and Outlook enthusiasts and productivity experts. This video is part of a series. To sign up to receive tech tips and training videos via email, please visit wordrake.com/tech-tips. Are you ready to take Word to the next level? To understand complex information, a reader needs a document with obvious structure. The table of contents provides structure at a glance and serves as a ready-made roadmap of your document, which helps the reader understand how your points fit and build to your conclusion. Once you have the right argument and structure, let Wordrake help you find the right words. Wordrake is editing software for Microsoft Word and Outlook that will give your first drafts the polish of 3 or 4 revisions. You'll get better results in less time and be more persuasive. If you'd like to learn more, sign up to receive tech tips and training videos at wordrake.com/tech-tips. When you're ready to take your work to the next level, try Wordrake. Wordrake is clear and concise editing software that will improve your writing while respecting legally operative phrases and key legal content. It's a finely tuned collaborator that will help you satisfy clients, win more business, and do more high-value work. Wordrake works in Microsoft Word and Outlook. It goes beyond Microsoft's built-in spelling and grammar checkers to help you reduce legalese and wordy writing. It uses complex, patented algorithms to find useless words, dull phrases, weak lead-ins, cliches, and high-level grammatical problems, then offers suggested edits inline. WordRake's document will look just like a smart colleague with an English degree has revised your work using track changes. In 3 simple steps, you'll have a better document or email. Try it today at wordrake.com/child.